Okay, so in here we're going to learn about adjectival agreement. This is so what governs how you make your endings at the end of the words when they need different endings. So let's have a look how this works. We've got the masculine singular first. So we've got el coche, right? You can also have masculine words that end in o, el mono. Okay. Equally, I would go un coche if I wanted to say a car instead of they car, and a monkey instead of the monkey, un mono. Okay. Now, if I want to turn those into the plural, I would just turn el into los. And then, as you can see here, if it ends in e, the plural is going to be just adding an s. Okay. This doesn't mean that the word culture is neutral. It just means that that's how it ends. Sometimes the words that are masculine and feminine, they also end in e, and they only ever change into the plural. So we go el coche, los coches, el mono, los monos, un coche, unos coches, un mono, unos monos. Now, why I get often asked, why isn't it in here uno instead of un? And that's because un means a and uno means one. Okay, so that's why that difference that needs to be differentiated. So careful with that. So that's your masculine. Then we've got our feminine words, which is de, la means de, casa, and they mostly end in a, but we can have one that ends in e as well, like for example la serpiente. And even if it is a male snake, it would still be la serpiente. Okay, and then una casa, una serpiente. Okay, and then if we want to turn them into the plural, we're just going to add an s. Las casas, las serpientes, unas casas, unas serpientes. Okay, so adjectival agreement just means that whenever you're going to add an adjective after here, then the ending also needs to match, which is why I gave you the endings, right? So for example, if I want to say the red cars, so red is rojo, so I would go rojos, right? So my ending matches, yeah, because it is masculine plural, os, right? If the color ended in e, then would be s, verdes, right? Because the e ending only ever changes into es, okay? The same with the monos. So if we go los monos negros, we could go with los monos marrones, right? If we were to put in here el coche rojo, then my ending would be o, because that's the adjectival agreement governs how that changes, okay? So then again, el mono negro, okay? Then the same for un coche rojo and un mono rojo. Then we've got unos coches rojos again, unos monos marrones, okay? And then if we were to add, and if we carry on adding more adjectives, they just continue being the same, okay? You don't ever change the ending because it's already determined by what would be the noun. Okay, so if we go las casas blancas, tristes, sad, o la casa blanca, triste. Las serpientes verdes, y amarillas, so green and yellow. Unas casas, again, the same, right? Would be blancas tristes and so on. And in here we go verde. If it ends in E, stays as is. And if it ends in A, then we leave it as A. That's the ending there. So that's it for adjectival agreement. The important thing is to try and get it right. However, as always, the most important thing is to convey meaning. Now, very rarely you will get the meaning changing because of the gender. Okay, these are exceptions. We will see those when we go more advanced. But in general, if you don't get these perfect from the beginning, that's actually not the end of the world as long as you are passing on the message.